Welcome back, everybody. Today, the mission at hand is to finish the mounting stand for my blacksmith post vise. This was another project that's been laying around here forever. I keep tripping over it. The base is a brake drum off an old Peterbilt dump truck I got from my brother several years ago. I had an old post vise mounted to this setup for a long time. Then I came across a better post vise from a buddy in the tractor club, which I bought and restored. Oh gosh, it's been over a year ago. Laying right here on the bench. And it was in much nicer shape than the one that it replaces. Well, this post vise didn't quite fit on the original setup I had on this mounting stand. So I had to cut the stand down a little bit, and then I had to make a new top for it to mount the vise to. And I got all that done yesterday. This bracket right here, see, I've got that drill. I cut that out with my oxyacetylene torch and cleaned it up. That's an old rusty pitted piece of metal. It's probably been outside for decades, but hey, it works for a blacksmith post vise. So this bolts on, and then there's a corresponding bracket on the vise that slides here, and then if you see this slot right there, there's a wedge arrangement that you drive in on both sides with a hammer, and then that securely holds the vise to this bracket. And then the leg on the vise, the bottom of it, has a little form knob on the end, and you probably can't see it very well, but I've got a countersunk hole here that the bottom of the vise leg sits on, so it'll be securely attached. And then I grabbed a couple of chunks of rebar that I had laying around to hold the hammer, and then I'm probably gonna knock together a twisting tool of some sort to hang on this side. I've got a bunch of old Coase spanner wrenches in various different sizes, and I'll probably convert one of those into a twisting tool when I'm doing a little ornamental iron work. Well, today the mission is to finish this. I got to get the wire wheel out and wire wheel it, and then blow it off with the air nozzle, and then get some paint on it. And kind of in a rush to get that done today because I got a shingles vaccination this morning, and they told me that expect to have the side effects tomorrow, which means, your arm's going to swell a little bit and severe muscle soreness and lack of movement, blah, blah, blah. So basically they're telling me my left arm is going to be no good for the next couple of days. So I thought, today's the day to get the wire wheel out and finish this, because tomorrow I am going to be useless. There would be those that say I'm useless every day, but we won't get into that. Hey, I'm going to show you my grinder arrangement here real quick. This is the weapon of choice today. I got that heavy-duty cup brush on it. This is a DeWalt. It's been a good grinder. It's given me good service, except the only thing I don't like about it is that slide switch on the side. I much prefer a paddle switch. And so all I have to do is just let go of it, and the thing shuts down. And what I do, I hate cords and service leads on the floor. I just loathe that. My days in the naval shipyard, we were constantly tripping over leads and cords and everything else, either down on the deck plates on the ship. I mean, you try to tie that stuff up as best you can, but they still wind up on the deck, or in the main sheet metal shop. There was air hoses and cords all over the floor, and I loathe that. In this shop, I may have shown you this before, I've got overhead air hose reels and electrical cords around the benches that I'm working on. This is my primary welding table. So I just grab either air or electric and pull it down, plug in, use it, and then put it back up. Nothing on the floor, which I love. But a little trick, I can't remember. I think my wife Nancy actually taught me this trick. What I do, this is 1.5 inch PVC pipe. Probably, what is it, Schedule 40, Schedule 80, I don't remember, doesn't matter. But I cut this 3 inches long, and then the cord, you just wrap it up like you normally do and slide it in that PVC sleeve, and then it tucks nicely just under there, out of the way, no cords, going awry. I really like that setup. This is my ancient Craftsman 4-inch angle grinder. I do most of my heavy grinding with this thing, and it's getting tired. You can hear the bearing howling in it pretty good. I don't know yet if I'm going to try to replace the bearing or just replace the grinder. But years and years of rolling cords up the old-fashioned way and then wrapping them around the handle, well, even though this part of the cord is reinforced, eventually winding your cord up that way splits the insulation. And you see I got electrical tape wrapped around that because that's all split from wrapping that cord that way. By using these PVC sleeves like that, you prevent that. And it keeps the cords in a nice little bundle and out of the way. So, yeah. So this old Craftsman's giving me good service. It has a paddle switch, as you can see. Which I like, I prefer. I've got this Hitachi here. If you're like me, it's a pain in the neck stopping and changing grinding wheels and cutting wheels. If you got to do some wire brushing along with your project and you got to change to a cup wheel, I get tired of constantly swapping that stuff out. So I just have 4 dedicated grinders. This also has the side switch, which I don't like. I prefer the paddle switch. But this little Hitachi, it's been a good grinder. It's great for cutting wheels. It does not like the flap disc mount. You put that on there, then you put the flap disc on there, and then you plug it in and you hit the switch. It takes this thing forever to get up to RPM. It just doesn't like that. And it's not a wimp. I mean, it's 120 volt, 60 hertz, 6 amp. Well, yeah, I guess it is kind of a wimp. 6 amp motor. It needs a heavier amp motor to run that heavier setup attached to the head. So I should probably use this one for cutoff wheels and use a heavier amp motor for the flap disc, because it does not like that flap disc. And I use the heck out of flap discs a lot. Believe it or not, my favorite grinder, and it's also my newest one. Hang on, I'm trying to do this one-handed. It's a Hercules from Harbor Freight, and it's a darn good grinder. It's got a, let's see, what do we got here? It's 4.5 inch capacity, 5/8 spindle with a 7/8 adapter, 120 volts AC, it's 60 hertz. This has got an 11 amp motor in it, and good for 11,000 RPM. And it's UL listed from the UL Underwriters Laboratory, which means this thing's been tested in the lab and put through the mill. And this is heavy duty. It works good. It's got the paddle switch on it, which I like. Nice heavy duty cord, and a fully adjustable guard on it. And you can see, let me set it down because I'm one-handed again. Sorry, horrible camera work. See where my finger's pointing? That's a flip lever latch. You just flip that up and then you can rotate this guard 360 degrees. And I love that because you can position that guard to suit the grinding or cutting operation you're doing. The guard on this DeWalt, you have to loosen a screw with a Phillips screwdriver, and the location of that screw when the guard is on is problematic. It's tough to get to. And then you're really limited on how much you can rotate that thing. Not very far at all, probably about 30 degrees in each direction, that's it. Same thing with the guard on the Hitachi and with the guard on the Craftsman. Although the Craftsman, I just use the heavy-duty grinding wheels, so I don't ever have to adjust the guard on that. That's strictly for just grunt work. So yeah. Anyway, so that's my my grinder setup. Eventually, if Hercules comes out with a heavier grinder similar to what that Craftsman is, then I'm probably going to go that route, because I got this on sale with a coupon for like $54, which is a really good price for a heavy-duty grinder, and I'm very happy with it. The DeWalt was a lot more money, so was the Hitachi, and the Craftsman, I've had that for 20 years, so I can't remember what I paid for that, so it doesn't owe me a dime. I've abused the heck out of that, and it's done the job for me. So anyway, all right, so I went a long way around the barn to say, yeah, I'm going to use some of these grinders, clean that up, paint it, put that big vise on it, and voila, c'est la vie, I'll be done. All right, this video is far too long. Thanks for stopping by and seeing what I'm up to today. Y'all have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.